As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And for those of you who are just tuning in, you're on the Business Zone. Our phone number here is 323-293-3375. 323-293-3375. Give us a call if you want to join in our discussion, or if you have some valuable information you want to share with us here on the Business Zone. Crystal, what's been going on?
Oh, wow. That's the usual. That class today, my Polish students, this class, the Mount Sac and the Los Angeles County.
Yeah.
This one is a very fast-paced class because we really only have 8 weeks.
Oh.
And so I got to squeeze in, so I don't have time to really play.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, my God, what are you talking? Oh, my God. So today they were just thrown into thinking like bookkeepers, and they were having hard times, and they were trying to pull it all in. But I think they're going to be all right. Good. I just told them next week, nobody can be absent from here on out.
That's
because 8 weeks is here. Yes. I said, we're done on February 23rd.
That's good.
And I have to get 2 weeks in the payroll. So we're going to be rocking and rolling.
So you're probably covering 1099s and all of that right now.
No, because they're not even ready.
They're not there yet.
On entering data, understanding what's an accounts payable and a receivable, and entering data into QuickBooks based upon that knowledge. So they're not even nowhere near 1099.
That's great.
And
That's
probably
great.
won't be able to get in that other than the fact that there's vendors that are. There are employees and contract employees. That's contractors. That's about as close as we're gonna get into it.
I hear that.
They're beginners, so the other classes got 30 years of information shoved into them, but this class really won't do that.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll be different.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what else been going on? How was your week?
My week was, it was a short week, so we had Martin Luther King's birthday.
Did you do anything on that day?
No, actually I didn't. I worked. I did some work on that day, but, it was so incredibly crazy with all the other stuff coming in from the political crazy people.
I hear that.
And so, just watching, I think I spent most of the day watching CNN and NSBC, and then it was so much, and I finally went over and did my salsa class, and I felt much better afterwards.
That's good.
So,
see, that's what you need when there's a stress of this political stuff going on. Just go do some Zumba, some salsa, some yoga.
gotta do something because it affects every one of us. It's not just, used to be. And there are people that said this. It used to be you could say that you could take or leave politics. There were my sister, in fact, didn't ever want to have a discussion about it ever. Really? Now she knows more about it than I do because it has impacted everything. It impacts if you're on Social Security, if your children are going to school, if you're a small business. So it really if you're black, if you're Latino.
Crazy.
Because how do you work not knowing there's nothing that's stable?
I think 45 just created a great business opportunity for us because now all the African nations are teaming up. They're coming together. So maybe we should try to trade and do business with them directly.
Right. Except for you still got to come through the federal government to do import-export.
Well, with our line of business, I don't think we need to do.
Well, that we can do all online.
Export. You see what I mean?
Yeah, we can do that online.
But I think we should try to find a way because that's a new frontier for us, and we should really explore that. Now they're they're coordinated and they're ready to go.
Well, because he insulted them.
Yeah.
Last week he insulted anybody that was an Anglo-Saxon and from a Scandinavian Norway kind of corridor. Even the Irish are a little pissed off. He done called them names too.
Unbelievable.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think the biggest last week, one of the I can't remember. Oh, it was Falk was the one that said he was like Stalin. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Right. So
Bass or Cass.
Right. So and then of course people are like, well, oh no, Stalin killed 30 million people. Yeah. Well, if Trump had an opportunity to do that, I mean, he would do that same as well. But the whole the fake news, the disruption and disrespect of anybody.
Just trying to muddy the water. That's
keep you from thinking and actually to desensitize you is really what he's doing. He's desensitizing you. But I just finished the book Fire and Fury, and wow, deep. But now I'm reading a book called Collusion. So Fire and Fury was the craziness that's going on in the White House and how everybody has a motive. And a sense of opportunity. So they're all behind the scenes doing whatever they're going to do.
So they can benefit.
So they can benefit. But collusion, that's some scary stuff. I'm only in chapter 3. Yeah. And there definitely was collusion with Russia. No question about it.
Even Stevie Wonder can see that.
Right. So that dossier, that Christopher Steele, that's what this is based upon.
That brought out a lot of things to light.
Yeah.
A lot of things because based on what they went over, there was some really deep stuff in there, So I'm just sitting and waiting to see stuff being revealed and, start counting the days.
I know. And then we had comic review with him being 6'1" and 6'3" and 239 pounds.
That is ridiculous. The last time I was 239 pounds.
How tall are you?
I'm 6. I'm 6. I'm 6. And the last time I was 239 was like 4 years ago or something like that or more.
He's 239.
And he's 6'2", but then now he's 6'3".
They stretched him. He was stretched, but he's still fat.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I look at him, I'm going, this dude is probably about 285, 295, close to 300,
He's
right?
probably about 3.
Yeah. But he's saying it's 239. Get out of here! You can't. I remember when I was 239.
And how can he have lower blood pressure, resting blood pressure, than someone that's 30 years younger than he is?
I know. That's made up. It's
ridiculous. And cholesterol. You tell me you eat
all of that.
In fact, this is what's so interesting. There has been, remember when the documentary on Big Size or Super Size came out, right? And the guy ate McDonald's every single day. Yeah. And at the end of that, it was determined, what his vitals were. Yeah. And then the guy that did the Subway sandwiches, and then he lost all the weight because he was eating healthy. Yeah. Well, you don't have to speculate on this.
The evidence,
they have documentaries. Just go look at the movies, the documentary Super Size. It'll tell you what happens if you make your whole diet is consistent of McDonald's.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm wondering, what type of business can we come up with out of this? Because all of this is creating an opportunity for us because we know they're lies. We know they're blatant lies. So, what kind of business can we come up with to capitalize on this?
I'm sure it's so much.
Maybe you can invent a lie detector, an electronic lie detector, or something like that.
That should have been part of the medical exam.
Exactly.
But they already know he did like 2,001 times as of yesterday.
You know that.
That's a lot of lying. And I was telling my sister, I said, can you imagine if we lied to our parents, what would have happened after the first? Well, let's give them maybe the first 5.
We're toothless.
We'd be toothless, and some of us wouldn't even be here to have that conversation because lying was not acceptable in my household. And even as you do business, if I'm from everything, from your friends, especially when I'm dating, I'm always in, what mode, what did you say? And I'm listening keenly. Because the first time I hear the very first lie, I am done. So as a female, it's like, what? Wait a minute. I thought he said something else last night. Because you're waiting. You're waiting. So as your friends, your dating, your business partners, anyone you're doing business with, right?
You can't lie. Can't lie.
People
got to be upfront.
And people come to you, and you kind of have a sensor for it. So when people come to me, especially salespeople, and it's that hyper type of car salesperson. I mean, you're listening and waiting for them to lie to you because you know it's about to come, right? Or your some of your multi-level marketers and marketers, just your over ambitious salespeople, which tend to stretch the truth, right? Don't let my banker lie to me.
No.
Don't let my investment people lie to me about my money. You're not even thrilled if your boss lies to you. So why all of a sudden have we come to become a country where integrity and honesty and trustworthiness is not a main character? You gave us we had our workshop this past weekend, Wednesday night, and that was one of the questions, right? Your trustworthiness, your integrity. To me, integrity is the most important thing.
It is key.
And it has to be consistency.
Has to be. And that breeds reliability, dependability, and trust. And if those things are not there, if it's not there with your clients, it's not there with your business associates, then it's totally absent and you're no longer somebody that's taken seriously.
Exactly. So you work on you strive on having a reputation that precedes you, so that your bad behavior or the fact that they can't trust you or your clients like, oh no, they lie to you all the time. No, you don't want them. You work on making sure you're maintaining that kind of branding for your business. I don't get this.
Transparency, integrity, and honesty, those things are key to me. If that's not there, if my clients or customers start feeling uncomfortable with me, then it's time for me to pack it up. It's time for me to pack it up. Because not only are they going to feel that way, they're going to go tell all their associates. And how is that going to make me look? It's not going to make me look good.
And you're not, and we're in business to create more business, to generate repeat business. It's not just about always going out and getting new business all the time. So if you are not, and that's one of the things when I'm teaching business development classes and training and capacity building is your reputation is paramount to you being successful in business, right? And if you're not, then there's a problem with you as a business person.
Exactly.
So that really affects us because as business owners, because that's very important. Because whatever trickles down from the top is usually, and we had this once before. I remember when Bush stole the second election, right? It was, and that was just before the crash of the economy, right? And it was like we were operating in the wild, wild west. There was no horrors barred. Everything was, anybody did any kind of unscrupulous business that they wanted to. And here we are, again, 8 years later, and we got out of that because Obama was such a upstanding guy.
He came in, he brought structure, he brought organization, and he brought integrity to the process. And now it's going back over there where it was before. And, like I say all the time, everything we do is cyclical. Cyclical. So
every 7 to 8 years.
Exactly. So whatever happened before, it's going to come back and it's going to happen again. Now, we know the 2008, 2009, 2010 crash of the economy was devastating for a lot of us. That's on its way back around again. So we got to make sure that we prepare ourselves and we try to insulate ourselves against that type of thing.
Exactly.
So before in 2008, 9, and 10, we let our guards down. We allowed some things. We allowed investors. We allowed, realtors and all those people to sell us and do stuff.
And you really did. You thought, wow. And I think some people asked me during the time, Crystal, once you buy a house, you can just do interest only. Okay, so what happens after that?
Exactly.
And what if the income drops? How I'm going to maintain? So those are my thought processes. I don't think about the now.
Yeah.
I think about what's 5-10 years down the line, and you can see it happening. So like, no, I'll hold on right now, because it's even more devastating to lose everything. And then most of us lost a lot.
And that's why a lot of people got caught in that interest only stuff, because what it is, the interest only, I think it's usually for about 3 to 5 years, and then it balloons.
Right, exactly.
And when it balloons, there's nothing you can do. You can't.
And it didn't even make sense, because if I'm an employee, a W-2 employee, at best, I'm only going to get a 3 to 5% increase. So if that balloon at the end of that 5 years, 25%, then I don't have the income to sustain that. So that's just common sense. That's just numbers.
Right. Exactly.
Numbers don't lie to you.
And that's what we want many of these small businesses to do, is to use critical thinking and try to use verbal reasoning in the things that they do to figure things out and try to make some real conscious decisions about what they do about their business.
Right. And that's what business is about, not just thinking, okay, I want this right now. When we're teaching business development and capacity, what will my business look in 5 years from now? What are my goals? What am I trying to achieve? And if I am I want to bring on 10 new employees, what do I have to do to prepare myself? What kind of income do I have to generate? What kind of procedures, structures do I have to put in order to maintain these additional 10 employees?
Yes.
I mean, I even think when all of these stores were just every corner, they were putting a new store, right?
Yeah.
The chain. Why? I don't know. Maybe they were into the big thing.
Yeah.
And then that turned around and shut them down. And like, did you go do your, what kind of feasibility did you do?
Yeah, exactly. I think what they do that, and, we've done some studies on this. What they do is, by setting up shop all over the place, the purpose of that is to paralyze your competitors so that they cannot function. They feel stifled because they can't operate with all of your big box operation around them.
I get that, but what about the overhead?
That's it. They figure what's going to happen is when those competition gets stifled and leave the marketplace, then they will have sufficient amount to sustain them until it's time for them to close door. Because by them setting up all that shop, they don't expect them to be there forever. They know they just want them to be there so that they can get rid of the competition, get some revenues out of that, then they close doors.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So let's say your annual revenues were $10 million.
Okay.
And you setting up shop is going to allow you to gain another 3 to 4 million.
Right.
So they do that, and then by them setting up shop and stifling out the competition, now that's an additional 4 million coming in. Competition is gone. Then they figure, okay, how much longer do we want to keep this before we start cutting our losses? And that's really what they do. So once they set up shop, they get rid of the competition. They get that additional 4 million. They go, okay, cost benefit analysis. Let's get rid of those additional ones and see where our revenues are, if it's going to drive those people. Because if they close shop over, say, in Crenshaw, but they're available in Inglewood, then the customers from Crenshaw are now going to go to
over
Inglewood.
there, right?
That's what they're banking on.
So that's what. But at the same time, if you close anywhere from 60 to 100 stores, now you didn't put out, and let's say on a minimum they got 20 employees. Now you didn't put out all of those 20,000 employees.
Exactly.
So now you didn't stifle the revenue. Because even they can't go over to Inglewood because you didn't move them out of the Crenshaw area.
And the thing about them is they don't really care about employees. They don't care.
Oh no, they don't care about the employees. No, they don't care.
Because most of these big box entities, they can go to India, they can go to Thailand, and they get $3 a day labor. So that's kind of what they're looking at. And that's why people like us, we gotta prepare these small businesses to understand that, the big box, they can function a certain way, but we're the ones who understand the nitty gritty of the customers, the community, and all of that. So that's what we need to do and stick to those plans as well. Another thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that we were talking earlier about integrity and all of that. Small businesses need to establish what we call core values.
Right.
Core values. And if you don't have core values, you cannot function efficiently, you cannot be successful. So let's identify at least 5 core values within your organization that's going to be critical for you. One of them should be integrity.
Yeah, definitely.
One is going to be honesty.
Yes.
The next one is going to be reliability.
Right.
Trustworthiness, and transparency. Those 5, if you have those 5 core values within your organization, you can't go wrong.
Right.
And you stick to those, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. And then you continually to go back and enhancing your knowledge base and your skill set so that your value proposition is greater, right?
Exactly.
I even use that, you would have been quite proud. I used that with my class this year.
Good.
So one of the things I'm telling them as an employee, you have to come in the door with a value proposition.
Exactly.
What is your UVA, right?
Yes.
Is how valuable are you? And here are some ways that you can be valuable. So instead of just sitting at the desk and just going robotically, going through a routine, no, analyze the reports and then go back to your boss and say, hey, you know what? We spent X amount of dollars this year. Maybe we need to look at some other choices and give some other people opportunity to save the company money, or our equipment is we're at the last leg. Why don't we look at buying it now versus waiting until everything falls apart, until it breaks? And so they really, and I kept reinforcing that. We'll talk about something, and I go, and what is that?
Yes.
Your UVP.
That's what I'm talking about.
So even from an employee standpoint, you too need to know that you are not just going to work. You need to be valuable at work, because again, the whole purpose of this program with LA County and Mount SAC is that you're not the first one that they release from work when a company starts to downsize. I'm never the first person out. I'm the last person out. And with me and the CEO, we walking out together going, good luck, Christo, and good luck, Mr. CEO. And if you got an opportunity down the line, if I'm still in the market for a job, give me a call.
Because they need you to help them count their money.
Right. And write their check.
They need that.
And close out the books and make sure that they get their taxes together. So you need to be I am the most valuable person on the property.
And as soon as they recognize that, then that's going to be a good thing for them.
Right, exactly.
So what we're bringing to the table for these small businesses, it's really critical. It's really critical. And we'll say it over and over. The rules of marketing is, you say it over and over, and it gets to 7 times, and people start paying attention.
Exactly.
But less than that, they're not paying attention.
Right.
You're saying value proposition, hey, whatever, I don't care. Value proposition, yeah, I've heard it before. You get to 7 and 8 times, and they're going, I've heard that 7 times. Let's see what that really means.
Let me pay attention to this.
How does it impact my business? Then they start paying. When you get those letters in the mail from those credit card companies, or they keep coming and you go, I don't want that.
Right, exactly.
And then one day you really need some cash.
Right. You're like, wait a minute,
let me take a look at this. Let me see the interest rate on this. Is there an annual fee?
Right. Maybe, huh?
You see what I mean? And then you decide, okay, maybe I'll just try this one.
Right, exactly.
Now they got you.
They got you because you did it the 7 and 8 times, right? No. And today's our show is about that. Our show is about taking our businesses in the Black communities and Hispanic communities to that next level.
Yes.
So not just doing and we're going to talk talk about my favorite subject is the black hair care industry,
Yes.
which is a $500 billion industry.
Yes.
So I've been on this for a long time.
Yeah.
So I done finally found some folks that I done must have said it 9 times, and their ears are not worked up. And I have been on this for the last 4 years.
Yes.
So now I got folks that are on the same page that I'm on. I'm a happy camper now.
I'm loving that. That's great. So today we're going to learn a little bit about the industry. We're going to learn about some of the do's and don'ts, some of the tricks and trades and strategies that small
right, and we have a special guest that's coming on. We have 2 special guests,
right.
And then I'm marrying them together so that we can bring their strategies together to create a opportunity here in Los Angeles. So
Beautiful.
We have Professor Robinson, Devin Robinson from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He actually has a conference going on this weekend, and it's on developing and building beauty supply store owners.
Beautiful.
And so he has a curriculum that they've been in. So to date, and I put it up on Facebook for all of those that are listening, and hopefully we have going to have a large audience today, listening audience, 80 stores, and he's created over, let me see so I can get the number right.
13 million.
Yeah, something. What does he did? 13 million? Is that what did I put that? Yeah, $13 million in revenues for the urban community.
That's amazing.
That's in an industry that is an industry we don't even have to think about.
Right.
There is no other entity.
That's our way of life. That's what we do.
That's what we do. We make up 95% of the consumer base.
Wow.
But nobody else is going in there to buy those products but us anyway, because our hair requires it.
Yeah.
And so and I was just telling, and our other guest is Mr. Ken Williams. He's the school director at University College of Beauty.
Yeah.
So I want to bring that curriculum so we can build. We've developed, and we did a fantastic job of creating hairstylists and some amazing barbers out there. Some of them had the initiative and the intuitiveness to take it to the next level. Right. Kim Kimball, the girl out there doing her thing, and there's some hot shop barbers out there, and I have some friends that are in the celebrity bar. They make good money, but the average one stays behind that seat until that chair until they're worn down. They have carpal tunnel. And then one day the light bulb goes off and they go, oh my God, I got to get a real job. Yeah. They've been doing this for 30 years. Right. I got to get a real job because I don't have any retirement money. Wow. I haven't been able to buy a house. I haven't been paying taxes. Yeah. I haven't been doing business. So I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to work for somebody. Right. And you've been working by yourself with the capacity to make goo gobs. There ain't a woman out there that back before the recession, they weren't paying $600 to $1,200 for a weave. Wow. You only need to do 4 of those a week.
Just 4. And that's where our next guest, Mr. Williams, comes in, Mr. Ken Williams. I met that gentleman a little while back.
Well, he was on the show, but he came in with a group of people. So today, this is going to be his space, and we're introducing him to Professor Devin Robinson so that we can see if we can get that curriculum in his school.
I think he owed me a haircut, too. He's gonna dress me up there a little bit, but I haven't been able to cash in on it yet. So.
And then we have someone else here that's talking about going to the next level, and she actually has a show that she's casting for. So you know how you love the show, The Prophet.
That's what I'm talking about.
So she is going to come out and talk to us about that. So we're going to have her when we go on our break. Yes. We'll come back, and then we'll have her come on and tell us all about what she's looking for, type of businesses they need to. And the show is called The Next Level.
Next Level.
And so she's going to tell us everything that we need. So if we have any budding stars out there that want to be on television and talking about their business and at the same time taking their business to the next level. Yes. Because what did I say last week, everyone? The tax reform bill will pass by you if your revenues are $250,000 and up. So that's the goal for everybody is $250,000 and up.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build quarter of a million years in here, okay? So if you guys can make $250,000 or more, and we can do that. We can do that. And based on our classes that we've had over the last few weeks, the state of California as opportunity, who is one of our sponsors here on the show. State of California has opportunities wherein all you need is 2 bidders, 2 quotes. And if you're the successful one, that means you got a 50-50 chance of winning. You're the successful one, you get that bid. And you can get up to $250,000 in contracts on those deals. So we want to prep you, we want to guide you, we want to prepare you to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready so you can go after that. I think it's time for our break, right?
Yeah, we'll take a break, and then we'll bring up Roz, and she'll tell us all about the stuff that she's doing out there, and then we'll go from there. Our caller's going to Skype in at 4 o'clock, and then we'll have
I can't wait.
I know. I'm excited today.
Let's take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make it.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
So we're back on the Business Zone. This is Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, along with
Crystal.
And today we've got a very, very special guest in the house today. We've been talking to small businesses for about 1.5 years now on the Business Zone, helping you to get business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready, how to go out there and get those customers, and also how to nurture and keep your customers. But today, our guest today is going to take you guys to another level. Crystal, who do we have here today?
So we have Miss Rosalind Taylor Jordan. Now, and I know when things are supposed to happen, they're supposed to happen,
That's right.
And greatness comes because it does come, right?
That's right.
So I got a call about a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, and that there was a casting agent looking for 20 African American black women business owners, and they wanted to cast them for a show called The Next Level. So they put the call out to me, and I went, okay, a lot of our businesses don't have brick and mortar. I got to give this some thought, right? So I'm giving it some thought, and so I'm thinking. So one of my friends, Suzanne Summons, she is all into everything. So she called me like 3-4 times. You know, I'm on the tennis court, and I'm like, why are you calling me, Suzanne? What the heck are you doing? This is Saturday, tennis day. So I said, look, Suzanne, here are the people that I can think of. I'll send those to you, and she referred them to them, right? Then I get another call. I'm like, okay. And then finally her sis, Nina, she's calling me. She goes, I'm sorry. I don't mean to stalk you. And then last night, I had an opportunity, and we've been playing phone tag to talk to Rosalind. And she told me, Gilbert, that she had watched our shows, and because I sent her the link, and I just made an offer. It's like, look, the best I can do is you can come on the show and you can talk about what you're doing, and then we will market it to everybody that we can market, and this will be a great show because we should have a whole lot of people that want to get involved in a $500 billion industry,
That's what I'm
right?
talking about.
So that's the best I could do. So then she called, and she goes, well, and I was just going to have her call in. She goes, no, I want to come. So Rosalind, welcome.
Thank you.
And glad to have you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. And just watching you guys, I'm like, that's why I wanted to come.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because you give so much great information,
That's
you guys.
true.
I mean, I'm so honored to be here, truly, because we really need the information.
Oh, yeah.
We really do. And that's what I love about this project. I'm like, oh, wow, I got the best project ever.
Yes, and that's basically what we're talking about is what this is going to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
It's gonna
ma'am.
Take those businesses
To the
and
next
walk
level.
and take them to that next level so that they can increase their revenues and their visibility and clients and just the whole thing, right?
All of it. All of it.
Let's tell the audience a little bit about you, and then tell them a little bit about this program, because this is going to blow their minds once they see and learn how this is going to really take their business to the next level.
I think so. So I'm introducing myself. I'm Rosalind Taylor Jordan. I'm the owner of Roz Works, Inc., and I'm working as a senior casting director for Irwin Entertainment. I've been in reality television, regular television for a long time. And so this is just another project that I have, but it's not just any other project that I have because it's very specific, helping women business owners who are ready to move to the next level but need some help. And what I realize is we all need help. We need help with process. We need help with, marketing. We need help with, our show takes a little bit of a deeper dive. So I call it, where the prophet meets a Yanla fixed my life.
Oh, I like that. I like
wow,
that.
nice.
I like that.
Nice. And so what are you looking for when you're looking for these businesses?
I'm looking for businesses who are brick and mortars, which is something that's really interesting because a lot of our businesses are online, which is super smart. And it's a great business model. This particular show, because we have an incredible expert who is, not revealed yet.
Okay.
But was vetted by our amazing network that we'll be on, which is also kind of confidential. But if you go to a couple of networks, I'll tell you where you can find some information.
Okay.
Oprah.com might have this casting there. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
Looking for female business owners. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But for us, we're looking for women in California. We're going nationwide, but we're starting with LA and Dallas. Looking for female business owners who have at least 2 or 3 employees, have a brick and mortar, are successful, but there's something holding them back. And with us, it might be Cousin Pookie.
Now,
Cousin Pookie.
Cousin Pookie.
So you know what that means, right?
We've heard of Pookie. We've heard of Pookie a lot.
So that's those businesses that couldn't get any other employees, so they brought the family, and then now the family don't know how to leave.
And he's not playing by the rules.
And you need somebody to help you extract them from your business. Is that the concept?
Pookie never plays by the rules.
Never. And when you get into a deep dive like that, you realize also there's a level of you have, once you reach a certain level of success, then you do have other things that come into play. And as an African American businesswoman, what you guys are talking about in the hair industry, which I can't wait to hear about.
Yeah.
You know, some of the people that I've met, they've told me in that industry it's predominantly Asian.
Yes.
Asian men who do a lot of the hair and the supplies and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think, Crystal, you and I were talking about how maybe we could introduce them to some people where they can do direct sales and skip that problem, because it's difficult for them to actually get financing, to get people to give them lines of credit.
Yes.
We're all cash in hand.
Yes.
And like you said, you know, we're going to get our hair done. We might have, you know, a tuna sandwich.
Yeah.
Because I got to get my hair done.
Right.
Because you have to look right.
Or, you know what? This might be my diet week.
I'm going to juice today and tomorrow.
So I can get my hair done.
But it's those conflicts, it's those things of how do you manage, how do you mitigate this? What if you have an employee who doesn't show up on time,
Right.
and you know that they need the job, but it's impacting your business?
Right.
What do you do if you really need to prioritize what products you actually sell? Should I shrink? Do I need to expand? Should I get a bigger business? These are things that our expert will be able to help them with. But it has to have some stakes in it. It can't just be simple, because it's an hour episode.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, Rosalind. Now, the type of businesses you're looking for, women-owned businesses, is it primarily African American? Could it be Latinas? Could it be Asians? Could it be anyone?
Yes, it can be anyone. I specifically was looking at African American because I just want to make sure that I spread that love in that particular community, and found that there's much more need there as far as funding goes. We have a lot less funding opportunities, which is why I was looking at your interview with the SBA.
Oh, yes.
The man from the SBA. And good for you, girl. She was like, just like Nina, just like my girl. She was like, don't give up. She is a stalker. You better stalk him, because he said, if you want it, you better be consistent and you better keep calling.
That's right.
And you wear them down.
Oh, yeah.
Wear them down.
Wear them down.
Remember, like I said, that rule of marketing, right? 7 times or more, and you get them to pay attention.
Well,
So
look at
this. Right after.
Right, and then this conversation, I literally have had the conversation about hair. Anybody that know me personally, that has been a crusade that I've been on, because it makes absolutely no sense that we spend $95 billion in an industry with 95% or $70 billion, and we're 95% the consumer, the black woman.
And we can't get $35,000.
I know, that's ridiculous.
Like, I really don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I think, we're not victims. We are very strong, powerful, capable. We're not asking for a handout, just asking for an opportunity to expand something that we're already passionate about. We've shown that we're capable. We've shown that we bring results. We've shown that we are, successful. But moving to the next level, sometimes you just need a few tweaks, and you don't know. And a lot of us, this is one of the things that I realized, we just have a passion in our spirit for something that we want to do, which is feed our children.
Right.
Keep my car with some gas and repairs. Maybe I want to take a trip. We don't want to live in lack. And I'm like, Lord, we're not going to live in lack anymore. Not 2018. It's our time. It's our turn.
Exactly.
Across the board.
Yes.
So our opportunities like this show that we are so passionate about being able to share, and let's think of other things that we can do. Maybe you have a spa, maybe you have a swimwear line, maybe you have, a spirits company, there are other businesses that we can do outside of hair, nails, restaurants, and fish shops. Which, when I was driving around in certain areas, that's pretty much all I saw.
That's what you see, because it's an easy entry.
It's an easy entry point.
You can pull together enough money. Families will invest in the money. And actually, you hit on a point. So with Victor from the SBA, I have a relationship with him, and Gilbert has a relationship with him. But I actually, this year we did last year it started. There's an initiative that roundtable that the Milken Institute has put on the table, and it was targeting Los Angeles and Baltimore because literally, so in 2015. there were only 29 loans processed for African American people.
That's pitiful.
And for the Hispanic population, it was 123 loans
That
was
is pitiful.
actually granted. Then in 2016, there were only, they said it was a 20% increase because it went up to 43 loans.
Is that because we're not, I mean, let's be truthful, because I don't want to say that, I don't want to call anybody out that's not accurate.
Right.
Is it that we're not aware of the opportunities, that we're not aware of what happens? Sometimes it could be our credit's messed up and nobody wants to give you a loan because you helped out somebody or had to take out, use a couple credit cards to cover something because, we kind of juggle.
Juggling all the time.
You juggle.
It's a whole basket of variables. I'm going to tell you why. Well, the first one is, as small businesses, minority-owned businesses, a lot of our businesses are not educated enough to understand, and that's what we try to teach in our workshops, that once you get your business set up, the first thing you want to do is to get a line of credit. Many of these small businesses don't know that. So if you don't know that you should get a line of credit, you don't prepare yourself to get a line of credit. That means the ratios and all of those things that the lenders are looking for, you don't have those ratios, so therefore you can't get it.
What would those ratios be, for example?
The basic ratio is 1.25. So they're looking for that on your current ratio. So, and that's your asset to liability. So if that ratio is not achieved at the lowest level, which is 1.25, then when you go to the lenders, the first thing they do, they run a quick ratio on you. Oh, you're like way below 1.25. Sorry. So they don't talk to you anymore. So they discard you. And when they discard of you, you're somewhere that you are not even going to be considered for any opportunity. So that's one. The second one is these lenders, they know that because many of these are minority businesses are not knowledgeable or educated about this process, they quickly discard them and don't give them opportunities. So what we're trying to do with Victor from the SBA is to work on a collaborative so that we can prepare these businesses. Once we prepare them in our classroom and we refer them over to him, then he'll refer them to his lenders so they can get the line of credit they need. So now they can start venturing into the area that we're talking about.
And then some of the things that we identified with the Milken Institute, and it was a partnership with the Milken and as well as the SBA, was collateral. A lot of our businesses or our business people don't have collateral.
Right.
So if you go to a bank, the bank's main concern is how I'm going to get paid, right?
Yeah.
So not having collateral is a big issue. And a lot of our businesses have been in business for 30, 40 years, didn't know that they could buy their business.
Right.
They did not know they could buy the building that the business was
So they're
in.
leasing.
So they're leasing.
And they're doing tenant hold improvements on that facility.
That you don't own.
Yeah.
That you don't own.
So, and guess who is benefiting from that?
The person who owns the
The
property.
owner.
That's right.
So when he goes to get a loan, he has no problem because his building is improved.
Yeah.
Totally, and he didn't spend a dime
didn't
for
spend
it.
a dime.
But we think that we own it because we rented it. It's our
Right.
space, and it's that mentality
Yes.
of ownership.
Yes.
That is the mentality that we need.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna own the building, the space, the appliances, everything in there. I
Right.
want it.
So now I have assets.
So now
right?
you have assets,
Yes.
whether it's an IP, right?
yes.
Right.
A patent.
Yes.
Right. Or any of that. Or receivables. that are sitting-
Account receivables, because they'll look at your 6 months, because you can get some
Oh, yeah.
loans, right?
Right.
If you have
Exactly.
6 months, they just pull up your records from
Yes.
your bank account.
Yes.
So there are ways to do it.
Yes.
And they don't know that. So that's the knowledge base. That's
Which is
where-
why I'm so glad to be here, because you guys are awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
so what you're doing, that's what obviously what you're going to be working with, or some of your business owners to see the broader picture of
Yes.
being in business.
Yes.
So we have a mom pop gig way of running businesses, and we need to be able to run a business as a corporation.
We need
Correct.
to formalize that process.
And you need to scale. It's all about scalability.
Right.
Our show is about that next level.
Yeah.
So, and we meet you where you are. Now, we're looking for successful businesses, because if you have a brick and mortar and you have at least 3 employees and
Right.
you're in Los Angeles,
Yes.
you're killing it.
I've got
Already
I've got
killing
one
it.
business in mind right now. She was on our show right now, Vanessa and Nora. They sell tortillas and pupusas and cheeses. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal. They're from El Salvador.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I love it.
Unbelievable. They started out just the mother and her daughter. They ran away from El Salvador, came here, right? and they went door to door trying to sell their cheeses. Now they've got a facility. They've got about 13 employees.
Wow.
And they just got a contract with, up in San Francisco, 19 stores to supply them cheeses.
Are they going to be able to supply those 19 stores?
Oh, yes.
Because of your help.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
A lot of times, and that's why, again, I'm just going to keep kicking this back to you guys every week. Just kicking it back to you.
yes.
I love my show, Next Level. I want you to sign up, please.
Yes.
Go to the Facebook, put it on your Facebook Live, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody, because we need to get this done in the next 2 weeks. But having said that, one of the things that I've learned, because I've also learned so much by going through the journey of just talking to these incredibly awesome women. Incredible. I'm friends with everybody. Like, and the thing is, when this is done, like, I know our show is just going to travel. We're going to go city to city to city. So it's about building a network of community, a network of community of support. I've been noticed that there's a lot of Black-owned business, or, you know, buy Black. There's a big movement for that. And you think about what that really means. To your point, when Mr. Ken comes and, like, you're talking about the billions of dollars just in that one industry, if we just one day decided, I'm only going to buy from an African American all day. And there was a family who actually did this.
Yeah, the Maggie Anderson.
The Maggie Anderson project. And I'm like, beast idea. You know, take initiative and pull that off. But with people like you, when they have the opportunity to scale that business, they have the resources, because usually that's what's stopping them. They don't have the money to pay to get the equipment or whatever they need to make those pupusas for 19 stores when you were making it in your garage.
In your garage.
Or not, well, probably wouldn't make it in your garage. Would be up to code.
Well, you can have a cottage industry in your
candles that you make, or your soaps, you know?
Or even just coming together to collaborate. So let's say you made jewelry and I made candles, and someone made blouses and clothes and hats and stuff. Why don't we come together as a coalition,
and
a co-op,
and share the facility,
and everything that you need to dress from head to toe, from the time you walk out your house, you come to our one location,
and it's there,
and everything you need with your stylist. Right? Everything to get you ready.
There's through the research of this project, finding you guys, there are other, if people really want to do it, it's available to us. I mean, it's, our internet is so full of information and opportunity. You just put in Black-owned hair salon. Black-owned restaurant. Black-owned florist. Yelp it. You'll get in there. But the other thing you'll see is when you do say Black-owned, and I wonder what you think about this, or not Black-owned, or whatever it is, you know, minority business owner, Latino, you know, Asian, whatever, you know, Native American, all of us, anybody who's non-Caucasian falls into our category. What do you think about leading with that as part of your business strategy?
I like that.
Do you?
I like it.
Yeah, and in some areas it needs to be there. I was couple of things. There was a guy, because when you go to Koreatown, or you go to Little Tokyo, or any of those areas, they're operating with their own. I was coming, my sister and I went to look at some tile on the east side, and we were like right at the borderline of Huntington Park. And I went into beautiful shopping centers. Like, when did all of this happen out here, right? And so when I went in the store, and we were in Panda Express, I looked. Every behind the counters were those of the representing those that live in that community. All the customers were those in that community. Everybody in the parking lot was and the parking lot was jam packed. It was like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and all the stores had just brimming people. Now imagine going into, and we shouldn't have to apologize, because when you go to any of those communities, they're supporting their own, right?
That's right.
So we always feel like we have to apologize for saying, I'm going to go eat at Newlands today, or I'm only doing Black-owned right now.
Right.
Why do we have to apologize? Because if we could go to a place that everybody looked at like us, and we were getting excellent service while we're customer service, and we just enjoyed ourselves. And at the same time, the people that are in our communities are like, oh man, are you going to come over to the tennis court? The kids are over there playing tennis, and you just have this whole family feeling.
So much community. I've realized through this research, there are a lot of incredible African American, Latino, there's a lot of minority owned businesses that we can support in all of our areas. And it's super easy to find. And I'd take one more level to that, women owned business, because that's my focus.
Sorry. And right now, that is the focus for 2018, isn't it? Women are in power right now.
But we need each other. And to your point, when we were talking about why do we feel like, we have to apologize, it's that mentality. You start to think about prior to desegregation, not that I'm not that person, but look at Harlem. Look at our bustling cities and towns and schools, and look how much success we got. Look at the incredible visionaries and educators that we got from our communities. And it was thriving and it was fun. And now it's like, well, I got mine. Good luck.
Right, exactly.
I feel like it's some of that, not all of that. And I really realize now, I feel like all of us are all waking up. We're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Right, exactly.
I think we're going to go ahead and take this back. I think we'll go ahead and own it, because I'm black and I'm proud. You can go into every store, and this wonderful, amazing lady that we met, she has a kiosk in Westfield Mall. Black Don't Crack.
Oh yeah. So she's over there by the barbecue place, Lucille's.
That's right.
Yeah.
Patented.
Yeah, and you know what? I met her when she first did
I'm like,
that.
you mean that was available?
Yeah, it was. I met her. I don't know if you know George Frazier. He is a major network guru.
No.
And he found her, and he had her at one of his events here, and that she had just gotten her patent. Yeah, who knew that Black Don't Crack wasn't? But also in that mall, there's a young black man that has a kiosk with makeup. That is his kiosk, and he has 3 others.
Oh, wow.
And then down on the corner of that same mall, upstairs, there's a barber.
Yep, there's a barber shop in there.
He's got 4, not the one that's on the inside.
Okay.
That one, but is a young guy that's upstairs. It's kind of an open kind of kiosk on the floor where Target is.
Interesting.
And he has one in Compton, he has one in Pasadena.
You would think when you walk into like our Baldwin Hills Plaza malls and stuff like that, that every store in there is black owned, but it's not, or minority. It's just businesses.
Right, exactly. So, and they got hurt because of the fact that when Walmart pulled out, that left them. So most of them are just hanging on by a thread.
This is what I mean, a lot of, and then you have construction issues that are no fault of your own on Crenshaw. You go down, but look at what's happening down in Inglewood. I'm so inspired and excited, dude. It's like about to be beast down there. I'm like, let me go see what kind of property I can get. What can I do? What can I set up some shop? Because when you have the forum and you have the energy, that's another space that's thriving. So I just encourage everyone to go and find the places of the independent business person, woman, that you can support. And like you said, maybe don't go to the big box. Maybe go to the mom and pop, because that's the only way that we will survive. And you want, like you said, they know their community. You're part of it. And they're there to serve. Their whole passion. Everyone I talk to is, I want to serve.
Exactly. We're at the top of the hour right now. We're having a great show. I'm really loving this show right here. Our special guest is Rosalind, and she has an amazing project here that I want all of you to take a look at. All of you women-owned businesses out there who are looking to go to the next level. This is what this is all about, the next level. And she is casting. She has a show. She's looking for women-owned businesses with a brick and mortar. That means you've got a facility out there, a storefront, that you can participate in this program. You've got at least 3 employees. Correct?
Yeah, they need to have 3 employees.
At least 3 employees. And you can be a part of this.
We want them to give us a call.
Is there a phone number that you have?
Yes, please.
You want to give them?
Yeah, 323-468-0700. Just ask for Roz. say, where you heard about us. But more importantly, please call us and please share it. Share it with all of your friends. Share it on your Facebook, on your IG, on your, tweet about it. This is such an incredible opportunity for so many women.
Phenomenal.
And we have the most awesome, inspiring, successful leader on this project who her products are everywhere from Walmart to Target to CVS. She started in her garage. She's a global brand, and she is going to help other women do the exact same thing.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing for women-owned businesses. If you want to call in and speak with Rosalind, the phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break right now, but we can't wait to come back and hear more from Rosalind before we take our next guest. So you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Let's take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each.
So welcome back to the Business Zone. This is
Crystal.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, and we are so excited today. We've got a great show. We learned so much about casting and helping small businesses move to the next level.
And
Now-
I think we have a caller calling in to find out more information, I'm sure.
Oh,
on
we do?
The casting. So,
All right.
hello.
Hello, caller.
Gilbert and Crystal.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, this is Marjorie.
Hey, Marjorie. How are you? Thanks.
I'm good.
Thanks for calling us today.
Yeah, I wanted to get a little more information because I do have someone in mind. She actually is a black female that has an aviation repair company.
Oh, beautiful.
That's at LAX.
And
So,
how many employees does she have?
she's got quite a few.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So,
So an aviation company.
Yeah,
You should
just
see.
that.
You should see Roz's face. Her eyes and hair is just go.
She's going, yes, yes, yes. Let's get her information.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get more information before I call her.
Okay.
And, give her my one concern is that she is a little shy.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, but yeah.
Well, once we get her involved, she won't be shy anymore.
So why don't we do this? We can give you Roz's phone number, and then you can call her, and then and talk to her about her, or maybe you guys get on a conference call. Roz is full of energy. Her number is, you got a pen?
323-468-0700.
Yes, yes.
Right. So then that way you can talk to her and then introduce her. I'm sure, most of that's going to take off a lot of work goes on behind the scenes, right? And then before they get them. So by the time she's done and on air, she'll be good to go.
She will be
But
very
that would
good
be
to go.
excellent exposure for her, especially in the Inglewood area with with LAX being the next biggest amusement park for the South LA, right? So that would be fantastic for her.
Right. Okay.
That
That's
sounds great,
fantastic.
Marjorie.
How have you been?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
stay in touch. Give us a call. Stay tuned. And we've got a lot of programs and a lot of activities going on here. So please help us, bring in more small businesses so they can benefit as well as you.
Yeah, well, you guys still need to do something specifically for public works for contractors.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
I think they're missing out on a lot of opportunities.
Yes,
But,
they are. And we
so-
want to bring you back in so we can talk a little bit about certified payroll, contract compliance, labor compliance, and all of those types of best practice compliances.
Sounds good.
All right,
All right.
Marjorie. Thank you for
So,
calling.
I'm going to call Roz right now.
Yes, please
Oh,
do.
don't call her right now. She's still in the studio. Give her about 15 minutes. Oh, yeah. She said, okay, call her. She ready.
Okay.
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 All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Marjorie. Appreciate it. Thanks
All
for
right.
calling the Business Zone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Excellent. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, we got so much energy. Look at that. Look
That's
at that. I
right.
just love it. When they say opportunities and all of us our ears perk up and
Yes.
we're ready and we're getting in place and people are coming to us looking for us. That's a good feeling.
See, Crystal, this is what we've been talking about, too, about getting businesses business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Once they're ready and opportunities like this come about, they can just jump right into it. They don't have to go prepare themselves or try to
Right,
figure out what they need
exactly.
to do. They have everything right at their fingertips.
I love it. I love it. I love
yes.
it. So we're about to get into, we're still waiting for our caller, for Professor Robinson, but I do know he's at a conference, so hopefully he will be able to get into with us.
But we do have another
But we have
quality
somebody
guest.
else, so we can still talk about my favorite subject, beauty business.
That's
So
right.
Mr. Ken Williams, he's the school director of University College of Beauty. This entity, or this is a generational legacy business they have. It has been around for 88 years, and it spans 3 generations.
Wow.
So I think I remember having a conversation. It was your grandmother,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then your father,
That's right.
and then you.
And me.
Okay.
And I have a daughter, too.
And you have a daughter that's ready to make it the 4 years
yes,
now.
ma'am.
You
Crystal.
know,
Four
Crystal,
generations coming up.
Our next guest is doing something that is really, really rare.
Yes.
You've never seen 3 generations running a business, or rarely do you see that, because after the second generation, 70% of the second generation will want to participate. And then when it comes to the third generation, you're down to 30. And then fourth generation is just non-existent. It doesn't happen. They don't want to be a part of the business.
And actually, there is a very small nucleus of businesses here, especially African American businesses that fit that. And one is your family, and the other one is the Doolins.
That's correct.
And then the other one was Mr. Gars.
Yes.
So those are our legacy businesses that we know of. And those are the businesses, they're legacy, but they also stayed in the community, and they're very connected with the community.
Right.
So you guys are a rare breed.
Yes, and we don't want to be.
I know we don't want it, but it is what it is. But we definitely are so thankful that you are in our community. So now Ken not only he also. Besides just being the school director, he also is. Didn't you do something with the board? Yeah, he was a member of the board of Barbary and Cosmetology, and were you the?
I was actually the first black male member of the state board of Barbary and Cosmetology.
Wow.
Okay.
That
That's
was
phenomenal.
From 204 to 208.
Yes.
They let me in.
And now you're sending the elevator back down to the
rebel with
other
the
people
cause.
who need it.
The rebel with a cause. That's fantastic.
I don't know. I think they had enough of me. Okay. But,
You passed the torch on?
I
But there's
passed
a black
the torch.
woman there now, right?
Yes, and I recommended Dr. Carrie Williams to the board, and now she's the current president of the state board.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, I've had my foot in the pie for a little while.
Well, welcome to the Business Zone, Mr. Williams.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Crystal, let me correct you. It's Universal College.
I'm sorry, Universal.
Universal Beauty College.
Yes.
Now,
and before that, it was Henrietta Beauty School. That was my grandmother's school.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just, so, I reached out to you not long ago about this industry, and I sent you on a field trip.
You did?
Because I needed him to really get, I really needed
Ken
him
Hicks,
to.
yes.
Yeah, I sent the both of them on a field trip after they had been on the show.
Yeah.
And I got a call back going, oh my God. In fact, he called it the Costco of beauty supply.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It was.
It was, huh?
And I've been in many. And I've never seen any. They have some in Georgia that are kind of that large, but not here in Los Angeles.
Well, for those of those audience members who have not, they don't know about your business, never heard of you before, can you tell them a little bit about you, your background, just a little bit, and then we can tie it into the Costco of beauty salons and supplies?
Absolutely. I started in high school through a program called ROP.
Yes.
That allowed me to kind of get away from high school and take as an elective cosmetology.
Right.
So I started when I was 16 years old.
Yes.
Didn't have a lot of interest in doing hair, honestly.
Right.
Okay, so I left there and went to work for the grocery field. I worked for Vaughn's Grocery Company for 24 years. Worked my way up from a box boy to a department head.
Wow.
And stayed there 24 years. Until my grandmother called me to her bedside. She was in the hospital and said, grandson, you got to carry on the family tradition.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. She passed away soon after. And I made the decision to carry on my family's legacy.
Yes.
So I went in, trained, went and got my license and began to be the chief cook and bottle washer. Okay, in other words, I had to clean the toilets. I had to counsel. I had to learn how to be an instructor as well. I did that. I also own a beauty salon, so I kind of have a very well-rounded, I believe, experience in the beauty profession. Right. I've seen students come to my school from day one and be very fearful. And I learned to appreciate counselors a whole lot, because you have to counsel.
Why were they fearful?
They were fearful. Oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to burn somebody's hair because, African-American hair, we use a lot of heat. Yeah. So, if a curling iron gets hot and,
you could burn somebody.
They call them pocket curls. And, we have to train the students, okay, if you mess up a little bit, don't hide, don't run and hide. Tell the person, okay, and remind them that you're in beauty school, and mitigate that you're not a professional yet. Okay. So, lots of experience, especially with me 10 years ago, taking on the responsibility or the challenge of becoming a salon owner. So I said, okay, well, I'm doing pretty good as an instructor of a school and a director. What about the other side of the coin? What about,
management side?
Yes. And so, I wanted to see that side. I had been into placement of students for a long, long time. But, you lose track. You always hear the bad, you don't hear the good. If they're doing okay, you don't hear from them. When they're doing bad, you hear from them. So I didn't hear from a lot, because a lot were doing very well. Yes. But I didn't know the idiosyncrasies of going in the salon and actually starting and being next to maybe a senior stylist, and you're a freshman stylist, and you see somebody that's, rocking the chair, as they say, clients going in and out, and you're sitting there like, oh, my client just canceled, and what am I doing here? So, I've seen the good, bad, and the in-between.
Exactly.
So, like I said, I counsel a lot. I try and reach out and network, and this is awesome. What you guys do, you need somebody sending you flowers and everything else,
some chocolate,
and the word just has to get out.
Exactly. Yeah, so, exactly.
You have to swing from one network to another,
and that's what we try to do here. We try to get the message out. We provide a variety of different services to get that message out to small business, because there's no one out there doing this for small businesses.
Very true. Yeah. So, my experience came, from marketing and retail. So, for you to ask me about beauty supplies, well, I've been in that. I started retailing out of my salon a long time ago. I know the benefits of retail. So vital. So unbelievably vital. And, it's about the speak. In other words, how do you present yourself, and how do you look at sales in general? If you take the word salesman and then you react to every time someone's called you on the telephone, ask you to buy something, and you say, oh, that's a salesman. Oh, I don't want to do sales. Well, you're cutting off your nose. Right. Because sales is really offering to somebody. Oh, guess what? I have this and I have that.
Right.
I don't really care if you buy today, but I want you to know that I have it.
That it's there.
And oh, by the way, if you purchase from me, then the money stays in the community.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so important.
That's good.
So it's about the offering and the respect level. And so, I try and give every ounce of my experience to the students that are coming up, the next generation. As we age as a population, there are increased opportunities for the next generation. And so, as I speak, there's a hairstylist that is retiring. But their clients aren't retiring with them. So, we want to pass on what we have done. And, if you ask a question, what's the number one woman-owned business in America? It's a beauty salon, hands down.
Exactly.
Well, can we transfer that success into other areas? And that's where we're lacking because we're not exploring the information. And, life is one big distraction these days. So it's hard to focus and stay consistent. as Rosalind pointed out, consistency is very important.
Yes.
I was listening to a little bit of Denzel Washington piece where he was at a commencement exercise, and he said commitment.
Yes.
It's about commitment.
That is so
It's
very
key.
important.
It is
and,
key.
I would have to say, unfortunately, minority are inconsistent. We've been taught wrong.
Right.
Now we have to be untaught, and then
Retaught.
retaught.
Yeah.
Okay, and that involves dedication and consistency.
And that makes a whole lot of sense too. And I think that once we have a system, because Rosalind spoke earlier about process. We need to have a process. We need to have infrastructure. And not only do we need to have infrastructure, but we need to understand that people, process, and operation is really what makes this work. So once we understand and we put all of those things together, it will. Now, I know you create a significant impact in the community on businesses. So for someone out there who's listening to this show right now and would love to get in the beauty industry, what are some of the things that you would say to them in order to prep them to enter that industry without having to deal with some of the barriers that you faced when you were coming into it?
Well, I would tell them to relax and not be so fearful of the unknown. I love to challenge myself, and in fact, I like to test myself. And so I go over the curriculum on a regular basis. I have testing programs, and I'll quiz myself. Well, what do I know about the skincare? Well, skincare, cosmetology is all inclusive and comprehensive. It's the largest license, and just because you're a cosmetologist doesn't mean you can't do skincare. You can actually do skincare. You can do manicuring, and so you can
hair.
And hair.
Right, exactly. In fact, there's
be
so
a barber.
many. You can be everything. I mean, there are some windows of opportunity that are taking place right now, and so that most of the time our individuals have just kind of focused on being a stylist or a barber, right? And that's pretty much that's the end of the road. Right. But there are like 34 businesses right now that have really made some inroads in this industry, and some of them are creating products. And just as Rosalind was saying earlier, so you can take those beauty products now with the new cannabis industry and using the oils for your skin and your hair. We're using because of the natural hair movement. Now you have who else better understands your hair than you? Right? Being able to create products that work for your hair. And I've said to other people, my mother was a hairstylist, and that's how I grew up. I have never had anyone of any other ethnicity ever touch my hair, and probably never will, because our hair is different, and it requires understanding and how fragile it can be, and what products work. And every one of us, Roz and I, can't use the same product. There is not a black woman out here that we can use the same product. I have my own beauty supply store just at my home, because every time you change your hair, you got to go out and get a whole series of new products in order to work that hairstyle. So you spend goo gobs of money in that industry. So you have that. You have supply chain management. Distribution centers. We have beauty supply stores, which is what we're talking about now. And that is a minimum $250,000 of annual revenue. And we're talking a small mom and pop type of store. You make it the Costco store, they're making millions of dollars over at the Costco store. And he has 3 or 4 different branches. And they just acquired a couple others that are right there in Baldwin Hills Plaza. So then you have your franchises. That's new. The blowouts. I mean, what does that take, right? You don't even do chemicals, right? You just come and get your hair blown out. And charge you, blow you up, right? And you're charging, what, $75? And people are coming in who don't want to do that at home. You have other niches that you can do. So we need to not just think so small anymore. And that's why when I talk to you, is talking about including that curriculum in your school for the business end and helping you dream big, right?
Yes.
So get your initial, but what can you do after that? I have a niece, and she's online right now. She's from Egypt. And so she has always been about makeup. And back there in Egypt, that's kind of where, so she's here. So she does eyebrow threading. Now they were doing eyebrow threading in Egypt before they were doing it over here. Mm-hmm. So the East Indians, they're the ones that capture, they have a stronghold. So she's been doing that since she's been here, but makeup is her thing. So she went to makeup school, did the hair thing, but a lot of the hair schools kind of get them in a trap. Right? Because it really wasn't about the hair. It was about the loan that was on the backside of it.
Yeah. I like to call that economies of scale. Mm-hmm. In other words, in the state of California, over 48,000 licensed establishments in the state. That's a big number. I mean, if you talk about general area, if you talk within a 100-mile radius, there's over 7,500 beauty salons within a 100-mile radius of where we are right now. That's a big number.
7,500?
Yes.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
If you just go from Rodeo Road to Vernon, you're probably having 50 salons. I mean to say,
Wow.
So, and you're not even counting the nail shops and other beauty-related businesses.
Right.
So let's say I'm a member of the public. I'm loving what I'm hearing from you right now. And I'm going, I want to get into that industry. I want to get in that business. What do I need to do to get started?
Well,
do I have to take a class? What do I do?
Well, a lot of the stylists come out of families. Mm-hmm. We're actually training the grandchildren of students that originally entered our school. So, grandma has a salon, auntie has a salon. So that's a lot of our student bodies come from people that know us. But then if you're interested, if you have a barber or a stylist, go talk to your barber and stylist and say, how did you do this? What do you think about it? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times when we get inquiries, I will recommend that they go, speak to someone if they don't know anybody, just to get some ideas and a feel. Well, most women know what it feels like to be in a beauty salon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's not a hard one. Men, barbering is an outstanding field. It's number one black-owned male business. Yeah. Okay, so, number two is mortuaries, as a lot of people know. So we're good. These are niches, but like I said, economies of scale. I know one guy that has a business. It's called ASAP, and he repairs beauty equipment. He is the only one that I know of that does what he does.
Wow.
And unbelievably business. Victor Warren, been in business many, many years. He works for the city. Yeah. He does it as a sideline. But, I've constantly told him, well, Victor, you're getting a little older. You have to come, bring somebody in and train them. Can't find them. There are jobs out there. There's a lot of jobs. Right. If you're interested in being a barber, we're going to very soon have a barbering school and a cosmetology school. Our existing school is right here in Lemert Park. Been there since 1988. Right. Trained many, many hairstylists. Kim Kimball is one of them. I call her top of the food chain, But there's a lot of in-betweens, and people don't understand, skincare, billion-dollar business. Yeah. Obviously, nail techs, and, minority nail techs. Yeah. We know that we don't control that industry. But in Atlanta, it's different. Yeah. In New York, it's different. And we just have to kind of put our feet in the water, and some people need to try something because it doesn't take 4 years of college to become a hairstylist or a barber. You can train very quickly, and we have a lot of graduates in our school that have gone on to go get 4 years degrees, and it was the beauty industry that allowed them to do that because they had a flexible schedule.
So if you were to conduct outreach right now, what population would you look at? What type of characteristic would you look for in them? In other words, what type of DNA should they have in order to be in the barbering business or the beauty salon business?
Well, we look at artistic aptitude.
Okay. That's one.
Some young ladies grow up, learning how to braid their dolls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they developed a affinity for beauty, from playing with their doll's hair and things like that. And then they say, well, this is something I enjoy doing.
Right.
We kind of take, the mantra of the United States, for granted. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Mm. Well, how happy can you be if you have a good job, but it's a dead-end job?
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't like the job.
Right.
Yeah.
So we live in a country that allows us, if we learn the idiosyncrasies of business, to put our foot in the water and dive in and see, this is what we want to do. Mm-hmm. So, I enjoy. We had a graduation at our school yesterday. We teased the girl because she has the nickname Speedy because she came in and she was a speed braider. And she kept the title. She loved the name, and she's going to make a lot of money. And she's, so it's just the encouragement. And we're a community-based school.
Right.
The community has embraced us, and in fact, today. One special thing is our students are going to go out to Atlanta, Georgia, and compete in the largest hair show.
That's great. How many students?
National, over 20.
Oh, wow.
20 students, and they were practicing in the parking lot.
So you
today
prep them for that?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of young men and women want to be celebrity hairstylists. Well, you have to get out there.
You definitely do.
And you got to show that you're capable of doing that.
Right.
So hair shows is one way to do that.
Right.
So we're very happy. And then, the way it happened was very unusual because we had a donator that donated 18 round-trip tickets.
That's fantastic.
So,
That's awesome.
we don't hear about good news that much.
That's
so
good
I had to
news.
share the good news.
Yeah.
So how does your business cross over into the supply business? Because we know the supply business is the $500 elephant in the room, $500 billion elephant. So how do you cross that over? How do you pair it together? How does it impact you? How does it affect you?
Well,
because you got to get your supplies from somewhere.
Yes. We normally do Sally's because of economics, but we don't buy from one distributor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have small distributors that come into our school, and we purchase at wholesale and sell at a little bit of profit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not very hard to do. You just have to try it.
Yeah.
And, if you don't sell things right away, it's okay.
Yeah.
You keep a little inventory, but you balance it. Say, okay, I'm not going to go buy $10,000 worth of hair because I don't know what to do with it.
Right,
okay?
exactly.
But there are several entities that are out there that want, young stylists and will allow them to purchase maybe a small preliminary order and then, try it out. But, I try and incorporate it in our school curriculum, but it's still hit and miss. And that's why this is so important, so that, when the ones that want it bad enough reach out, that I'm a resource center, that I can give them information. I can say, well, there's a Crystal and a Gilbert,
right.
And, you have this thing, and, you have your classes, and you just make up your mind that this is what you want to do, and you don't give up.
And I think they have to see the broader picture. So another reason that I have so much interest in this industry is because I have a business partner, and we're going to open a men's grooming salon. And so in that preparation for that, we've gone to probably every show that there ever has been out there. We've been doing this for before the recession. We were ready to open just at the recession in 2007, and of course that took a crash, so we took a back burner, and then there's some other things going on. But in that time frame for about 5 years, we've gone all the way across the country. We've gone to every spa salon out there. We've been to every beauty show. We're members of Pro Beauty, and they actually have a conference 3-day down in Long Beach at the end of this month. So I'm going there, taking my niece there. You can buy all your wholesale products there. When I went to Vegas last year, all of the international supply people were there. You can just order straight from there. There was no intervention from anybody else. And they were giving you wholesale prices, and they were looking for you. And we happened to be probably the only black folks there. So they're like, oh my God, where's the rest of them? Right? And so you don't see them. But these shows are bringing in millions of people. And then I come back to our salons, like, well, why didn't you guys go? I mean, Vegas has nothing. Pro Beauty show costs $45. Which is coming on the 27th of this month. $45. You spend that at McDonald's, right? But that's how you learn about what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I have a friend that is a celebrity hairstylist. He worked for, his clients were Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock. And he cut Halle Berry's hair. I mean, anybody in that industry, he was hired by Sony, so they paid for him. They paid him. He had his own health insurance. He's all part of the IMDb. That's how you work these kind of things. Yeah. So we need to be able to expose our young people, because that's a young business, on how to develop and create these disruptive businesses. Mm-hmm. I've had friends. In fact, it was so funny. So when they had the what do you call it with the when you have your weave and you have the centerpiece, I can't remember. She came up with that before it actually even hit the market, because my girlfriend and I was telling her, because we got to be able to do something. And so she practiced on her head and she came up with it herself. So, and here's one that you will really find interesting. I was at a hair show, and there was a young woman in the show, and this was about finding funding for your product and how to take your brand to that next level, right? Kind of like what Rosalind is doing, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a young white woman sitting next to me, and so she had this product. And she goes, I want to take this product to the next level. I said, what is the product? She says, it's an plastic earpiece that you put over your ear so you don't burn the children's hair. Yeah. This was a Caucasian woman. Mm-hmm. What does she know about straightening hair? We live it.
Economies of scale.
So we just have to start opening up the mind and the mind's eye that you can do so much more than just do hair.
I had the pleasure of meeting a young man named Andre Walker. Andre Walker is Oprah's hairstylist. And the company flew him out here to give him an award. It's been Oprah's hairstylist over 25 years, and he has his product line in Target and everywhere else.
Right, like Mixed Chicks.
Oprah backed it, and it's all over the place. Yeah. So even Oprah knows.
Once she backs it, it's over.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of, and those opportunities are there, because you can go to the hair shows and you can run into those individuals, right? Yes. And then you develop relationships, and then you have a product, you go to them and you say, hey, I got this fabulous product. I've used it in my shop. And number of people have tested, and they absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. So now they have the test marketing done, right?
Absolutely.
And now I need money for my prototype. So then they'll give it to you, because they'll sit there, they'll see the benefit for it. Absolutely. But there's some opportunities. So we talk about the $500 billion industry for women. Guess how much the men's industry is? And it has been growing strong. In fact, during the recession, it never stopped. It is a $72 billion industry.
Wow. 72.
And these are men. And so they're concerned about their hair. Men are manscaping and getting brows done and tweezing, nails. And so when you go into a nail shop, and the reason my business partner and I thought about it is because when you go into a women's nail shop, it's about women. But there are men there. You're kind of an afterthought, but you're walking into a pink girly shop, right? And you can't really, and women spend more money than you do. So if one come in that's a big spender, then they're going to make you sit over in a corner and wait. So they need to have their own salon. They need to have their own place where they can feel comfortable and do what they do. So there is a guy that's up, Michael, he's up on, it's called Hammer Nails, up on Melrose. So he opened his shop. When it really went big was when Jean Paul, who has got, he's the only male group, a salon, and he's been around for 20 years. When he came to Los Angeles, and he's in Saks in Beverly Hills, I knew that the industry was ready to take off. Because Jean Paul is all over the world with his, and men's clubs. So that's an industry right there.
Yeah.
And so many different industries that are there for that they don't just have to get behind the chair and stay there until it's time to go find a new job.
Truth. Absolutely. A lot of people know the name Burke Williams. Burke Williams is a very large corporation and has male and female grooming.
And look at Vidal Sassoon. He don't even do hair.
Oh, no.
He sells products.
Yeah. Well, he has schools, too.
Yeah, schools, but he never did do hair.
Yeah, he's got blow dryer. He got some products.
Paul Mitchell was all about products, right? He sold his products out the back of his car. Yeah. He never did have a license, I don't think, as a cosmetology license, because that wasn't the industry he was in. Right. But he had schools, and some of the best schools in the country. Yeah.
Well, some people know the name Dudley as well.
Yeah,
Dudley is very big back east.
Yeah.
Of course, Bronner Brothers, B&B Products is their line, and they have when you sent us to the beauty supply, did I see an aisle full of B&B products?
Yeah, you did,
huge, right? I know, in my background with marketing, when you have shelf space, that kind of tells you who the big guns and the little guns are. Yeah. Okay, when you got shelf space, and you create that, that enticement to buy. And especially natural hair care products is big. It's huge.
Well, there are actually the Nappy Wood conference that's 3 days that has been going on for the last 2-3 years in Los Angeles. So it's got a real movement, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. Purists. The beauty business changes all the time, and it evolves. And so there's always something new. So it's never boring because it's always something new.
Right. You just have to expand your knowledge base, right?
That's exactly right.
In order to find your new space.
That's right.
So you're moving over. You guys are moving into Inglewood, and
moving in Inglewood. I'm going to claim this time next month.
Okay.
Universal College of Beauty will be there, training barbers and hairstylists.
Okay.
And hopefully my great grandkids will have it after I'm gone.
Well, we're definitely going to work on you becoming that the one beauty supply beauty business or salon and school that have that business component to it. And I am sure Professor Robinson got tied up at the conference because he's teaching there.
That's okay.
And for this, so we're going to meet him on Sunday.
Wonderful.
And our goal is to actually get the curriculum. And they come out and train you guys on how. And there's a lot of hairstylists that I've spoken to that actually have been instructors. So, that's another avenue for you in order to get them in that industry. But one of the things you asked, Gilbert, how does it translate? So most beauty supply stores have a salon already incorporated in it. So if you're selling the product and then you have your salon in the back, that's a win-win situation. I mean, it's just like the perfect business, right?
Yeah.
Because you have we're talking...
You have the product and the service.
The product and the service. Right. And the young ladies that are in Inglewood, that the weave bar, they have the weave bar, and they're doing Just Weaves, it's called. So they went and got their own hair. No middleman.
Too.
Yeah, they're in Gardena. And their first one was on Wilshire.
Yes. Absolutely.
Detroit.
Yes.
So they do all nationalities.
Met the owner, and the owner is such a philanthropist as well.
Yeah.
Because she's taken, young girls that had issues with their hair and just brought them in, and she's given away a lot. And she's in the self-esteem business, so she takes young women that need a little self-esteem and gives it to them.
And she actually offered, so there's 5 of them, so her 4 partners actually worked in the salon with her, and she came to them and offered them an opportunity to buy into the business. So now there's 5 business owners, there's 3 locations, and then they each have their own location.
Yes.
And I think that's absolutely amazing. That's kind of like franchising, right? So
yeah. I was actually at the hearing in Inglewood when they approved them,
right?
And they had to go through a process like we did,
right.
And they didn't approve them right away.
Yeah.
And I remember telling her, "Don't quit." That's another thing that we as a race we have to learn just not to quit.
Right.
Okay. In this piece that I mentioned with Denzel, he said, if you're going to fail big, and then get up and do it right.
Right, exactly,
okay?
exactly.
If you're going to fail a little bit, okay, I don't know everything right away. You don't have to know everything.
No.
But you have to have desire,
and
you have to have a hard work ethic.
Yes, you do.
And folks these days, I remember when I opened up my first salon, they still had pagers. Pagers were big, and I used to tell the stylist, "Don't work off your pager. Come to work.
Right.
Come to work."
Right. Exactly.
I had a stylist start in my salon. Her very first week was a Saturday, and she had 6 walk-ins that day. And she called me and said, "Mr. Williams, you don't believe it. You won't believe it. I had 6 people walk in the door that day. I didn't expect anybody." So, brick and mortar building is still important. Hairstylists.
It's the one business that brick and mortar still works. You can't do virtual hair.
You're right. And the beauty is, I've seen salons set up right next door to each other, and they both are successful
because you got your own clientele, right?
You're right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then those in the salon, they're each in their own. They all have their own specialty in their own niches.
Exactly.
And so it's really them. If if their hair is slamming and everybody else is coming, who did your hair?
Exactly.
Right.
Client loyalty is high.
It's high.
It's
right.
very high.
Yeah. So your competition is just as good as you are. Mm-hmm. Right, and so
you're right, but people have personal choices, and they stick. It's funny though. If you have a bad experience, then you move real quick.
Yes, exactly.
But if you don't, and you get used to a certain level of service, then you're gonna keep coming.
And you have some client, your older clientele, they'll stay with you.
Yeah.
If you're a barber, you guys will go all over the world to follow your barber. You guys are some committed people when it comes to your hair.
Yeah.
And you have less than we do, but you guys don't change from your barbers.
There's a barber organization called the Exotics, and they travel all of the United States giving shows and barbering competitions. And they normally set up near downtown, and they rent a warehouse. And 5,000 barbers show up.
Wow!
Unbelievable.
Downtown where? Long Beach?
No, downtown L.A. Okay.
Wow!
In the commercial district, and you go in and you don't see anything. There's no parking. You walk in and then boom, all these people. I went to a barbering competition last year, and unbelievable. Okay,
wow.
But they had barbers that were selling tennis shoes too. They had tennis shoe vendors.
Well, does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah,
it
who else is in your store, right?
It makes sense. And then you get your hair cut, and you get your
tennis,
your Air Jordans,
right? All
and you're ready.
See, that's that thinking.
So
that's broad thinking, right?
And then the guys, they put on these little black gloves, like surgeons, only black gloves instead of white. And they have little goggles on and stuff, little lights, looking, making sure their lines are perfect. And so the barbers, barbers are coming up.
Right.
Barbers are,
and there's some incredible women barbers out there.
Absolutely, there are.
There's some bad ladies women out there. They are awesome.
I don't know a man that doesn't want a female barber if he can have one. Okay.
Well, that was one of the reasons when we still are doing the men's grooming salon. It's called Pharaoh's. That we're gonna have women barbers and women doing the nail tech. So there's no big. And I was at a
slam dunk.
I was at a show, and so there was a new treatment that these young ladies were doing, and they were Tunisian, and they had a Tunisian product, and they had Tunisian music, and it was all with movement and dance, and it was a men's product, right? And so the woman was doing this guy's leg, and she was rubbing up and down, and the music, and it was swaying with the music, and these other two guys were walking by. I said, "So what you guys think about this product?" I said, "We're thinking about having it on in our salon." He goes, "When you open, because I will be there. Will she be?" Because the girl was gorgeous, and the music was beautiful, and the smells, it was coconutty, and they felt like they were like, "Oh my God, that's like being on an island." So
Yep.
Yeah, and men would be very committed because you guys are very committed too. That's why we chose the men's side of it versus the women's side, and it's an open marketplace. So that's what we want in us as African American. Exactly what Rosalind said. We don't have to have small, mediocre businesses. It's just as much work to start a small business as it is to start a large business. It's just as much work to be committed to a small business as it is to a big business, right?
True.
So you could have just been the salon. And when your parents, retire, it's like, okay, I'm not doing that school bit. Right? But you saw that it was a need, especially a conscientious school that is producing a lot of talented stylists, ethical, trustworthy stylists with integrity.
Ethical. Got to be honest.
Gotta get the code.
I was listening. You got to have those things, and you have to. Our school is an accredited school and obviously state board licensed and all of the agencies. So we have to kind of adhere to the curriculum, but we have to add to it also because, as I said, communication, very important.
Right.
We don't like slang. If we don't have to,
exactly.
We want to use proper pronunciations and be able to show a humble spirit. A lot of times the students, they're in school to learn, but they start on a doll head. But when they graduate into live hair, then they're like, okay, can I do this? And so we have to be close to them and get them over. Once they get one or two heads, then they're ready to go.
Afraid they won't be burning the people, right? And lawsuits. Okay. Now the braiding piece of this, and that's huge right now. That's not licensed. Do they have to? They have to be licensed.
Unlicensed. Okay. A lot of people drop the word natural hair braiding. Okay, when they say braiding, it's an unlicensed. You don't have to be licensed to be a natural hair braider, which means you're physically just using your hands to braid and, doing cornrows. But when you add hair in, then that's when the state says you're crossing the line. They don't want you to use artificial hair.
Okay, so you have to be, because then you can break off hair and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You can still do that with braiding cornrows.
You surely can.
And it's about hair care.
Yeah. I like to call it braiding with controlled tension.
Okay.
And that's what we teach our students to do, to just the attention that you put on the hair based on the condition of the hair.
Okay.
So, if the hair's thick, it's not, you can braid it and reasonably be assured that you're not going to, break the hair off.
Right.
But, you have to pay, more attention to the hairline and just make sure you're doing it, and you're paying attention to the client.
Okay.
Okay. Some women want their hair braided tight and they request that. And you have to say, okay, tight but not too tight.
Okay, so that you don't break off the hair.
Exactly.
So with 4 or 5 minutes to go, is there anything special you want to share with the audience that will help them to get involved in the beauty care industry?
Well, I would love if they would just You know, it's like today I walked over here.
Yeah.
Okay. People don't walk anymore.
I know.
Okay. I would encourage people to walk the community and see the existing businesses that are there. Okay. Walk. They have a museum in right in the same block called Art and Practice. I doubt if it's black owned, but somebody put $1 million into this building to encourage young women and men to explore art. And they have these fantastic different types of displays. They have a display made out of wrought iron that is the pieces that they put into concrete, for strength. And they have this amazing sculpture made out of wrought iron that a lot of people wouldn't even know it's in our community. So you have to take time to explore and say, okay, we have a few McDonald's, but we have a few other things other than McDonald's or Jack in the Box, or especially if you're interested in business, look around your own neighborhood and see what businesses, because I don't know anybody that likes traffic. I hate traffic. We have to live with it these days. But when it comes down to occupations, I don't want to have to get on 3 freeways to go to work.
Right, exactly.
I want to work in my community if I can. I live maybe 10, 15 minutes away from here, and that's all. I never want to move out of this neighborhood. And this is a great neighborhood, better than good.
But it's interesting that you said that, because there are other people that think this is a great neighborhood too. So if we don't put down our stakes, it won't be your neighborhood, and you're gonna have to be driving in and out from somewhere else.
Yeah, I think the ratio in this neighborhood, I think 75% African American in this general area. Yes. The highest concentration, I believe.
It's actually the last highest concentrated community in the South LA, or anywhere in the state of California. Actually, Oakland might be right up there with us, but in California, we're the highest concentration of African-owned homeowners and apartment dwellers right at the present moment. That's why this community is targeted right now.
And so, also I would say, look and see who the big guns are. Now, if you're looking at beauty supplies, Sally's is the largest. They're international. They're outside of the United States as well.
Right.
Billion, okay? They have a policy that they want a licensed cosmetologist in every one of their stores. And I think they have like 1,500 stores in greater California. So, if you want retail, go around and look at retail and see it not from a consumer's eyes, but as a business. And there are a very few, but they're existing now. There are very few African American beauty supplies, but they're new. There's one on Crenshaw,
and there's one on Century, and then there's
one on Manchester.
Yeah, there's 3 on Manchester that just opened up.
Okay, so small moves forward, and that's really the secret is to make some small moves. And just keep making small moves until they become big moves.
Right, exactly.
And so you and Gilbert are VIPs. People have to reach out to you, and there's no such thing as a stupid question.
That's true.
You just ask it and say, "Well, how do I do it?"
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And we really do want to concentrate on this industry because things are changing, and there are a number of people in my colleagues that are interested in investing in existing business beauty supply stores if they're up for sale. So we need to start developing and building managers, creating managers so that they're ready to move in. So there are people ready to go. So if anybody out there listening to us that is interested, and there are a lot of retired hairstylists and barbers that still love the industry, just don't want to do the manual labor anymore. So if you're out there and you're interested, and also those same people are ready, willing, and able to be instructors, and we can start developing instructors and see what we can do. Because if 8,500 of the beauty supply stores are Korean owned. But you can too do that, and it makes a big difference when you don't have to go through a certain distributor. When you put together a block of professionals and 10 of you order straight from China, now there's no blockage. There's nothing to stop you from doing. So you order a crate and it comes in 6 weeks later, and you've all chipped in and you got your supplies for the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. That's a better way of doing business.
A much better way.
So, Mr. Williams, that time has come again. And we really, really enjoy the information you've provided. I just want to make sure that you disseminate your phone number to the audience listening who might want to get involved in the beauty industry and hair care products. So
absolutely. It's the Universal College of Beauty. I'm Ken Williams. Our phone number is area code 323-298-0045. We're right in the heart of Leimert Park, 3419 West 43rd Place, and happy to be here. And thank you so much, Gilbert and Crystal. And just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to be your best fan and biggest cheerleader.
Thank you, Ken. It. And we will carry on and we'll move forward doing until we accomplish a foothold in this industry.
Absolutely.
All righty. So we just want to thank everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next Friday. Actually, we also have a show next Wednesday at WeHo TV on Channel 36, and we're going to have Bo Money Williams, who's going to talk about the cannabis industry again on that show. So tune in if you're in the West Hollywood area, and until that point, we will see you next week.
You're on the Business Zone. We're out.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Got an appointment with the SBA, my business license and my CPA.